Good morning. Welcome to the Cleargistix 2.0 release webinar. We're going to give everybody about another minute or so to log on, and then we will get started. So get started in about 1 minute. All right, it looks like we have everybody who signed up on, so we will get started. So the first thing that we want to do is say thanks. We want to say thanks to all of our customers that have been with us on this journey. We have made, as a company, significant progress, especially over the last year. And none of that wouldn't be possible without the great customer base that we have. A lot of the items that you see here today in our 2.0 release came from suggestions from customers. We get our best suggestions from customers, and they usually start out with a phrase such as, you know, what would be nice, and then someone says this, and we think about it a little bit and say, man, that's a great idea. We should have thought about that ourselves, and let's get it in the system. So please, keep all those thoughts and suggestions coming. We greatly appreciate it, and they serve to better the product and to help us serve you better. So a couple of housekeeping items. Everybody's on mute. If you have any questions, you can do questions via the chat or the question box in the GoToWebinar controls that are on your screen. If we can't get to all the questions, we'll send an email following this webinar that'll have those questions answered. So quick agenda and kind of a little bit of introduction. I'm going to get started, talk about, introduce us, and provide a little update on Cleargistix. Rick Hansberger, our Chief Technical Officer, is going to provide us with a little overview of Cleargistix 2.0, and then you'll actually see some of the Cleargistix 2.0 functions demonstrated by Lindsay Schweitzer, our Chief Customer Officer. And then we're going to do some Q&A, and we've got Christy Steib, who's our product manager, who keeps us all straight and sane, on to answer any technical questions that you may have. So a little bit of a brief introduction for the folks that don't know us. Cleargistix was started in 2011 originally. In late 2015, the company was relaunched, rebranded, refocused. That is when I joined the company, and when most of the folks who were on the Cleargistix side here on the call joined the company. We're headquartered in Mandeville, Louisiana, which is about 45 minutes north of New Orleans. We have customers currently in the oil field service, tugboat, construction, waste disposal, and some other verticals. The real business problem that we address is that a lot of oil field and other companies are currently run on paper, paper to document revenue, activity, payroll, expense, inspection, safety, et cetera, type of information. And paper leads to numerous paper problems. And those paper problems cause increased costs, inefficiencies, errors. And one of the biggest things that we're finding is the delay in management information. So because that item is documented on paper before it is actually turned into management information in the company, can be a substantial amount of time. Whereas with Cleargistix, you have the information right away and in real time due to our cloud-based infrastructure. And a lot of oil field companies, can't answer the question about what we did yesterday, earned yesterday, costs yesterday in the field because of that paper-based documentation of information. So our digital field ticketing solution, we believe capturing data in the field is key. We have a flexible, configurable, and very field usable system. The users of the system really like it. And we capture all the information that would currently be captured on either paper or spreadsheets out in the field. We capture it digitally. The users in the field using our system are using either tablets, laptops, or phones to capture that information. And then we manage the workflows of that information for review, approval, and reporting. And we can say a lot of great things about our system, but we're a little biased, and we prefer to listen to our customers who have just a tremendous amount of things to say about our system and the benefits that our system has brought to themselves, their processes, and their companies. And we're very proud. We've got 2 case studies released. We'll have another one released early next week that shows significant cost savings, efficiency gains, decreases in DSO, ability to respond to customers' increasing invoicing requirements. That's a big one. These days, oil field customers, the operators, are having some increased invoicing demands of information they want, how they want it, when they want it. Using Cleargistix with the information being native digital, it is very easy to respond to those requests. And we're kind of onward and upward. So customer counts increasing, user counts increasing, our transactions processed is increasing. We recently processed the 100,000th transaction through our system. We're going to do a little bit of promotion about that in a couple of weeks. And our revenues are up. So again, we can't be thankful enough to all of our customers out there. So with that said, I am now going to introduce you to Rick Hansberger, who is our CTO. I am going to kind of give the controls over to him, and he's going to provide you a little update on Cleargistix 2.0. Take it away, Rick.
Great, thank you, Stephen. Let me share my screen here. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Great. As Stephen said, my name is Rick Hansberger, and I am Cleargistix CTO. I'm responsible for Cleargistix product development and technical direction, along with the Cleargistix technology infrastructure. And I'm pleased this morning to introduce you to Cleargistix and our 2.0 release. For anyone not already familiar with Cleargistix, here's a very, very brief overview. When you boil it down, Cleargistix essentially does 4 discrete things. It documents and dispatches work. It collects information in the field using custom configured tickets or forms. And it puts collected information through custom ticket specific workflows. And then it passes it to other systems such as invoicing and payroll. So really 4 simple basic functions that really provide a lot of utility and a lot of value. And it gives you efficient and effective processes to replace the problems of paper. And that's what our mission is. Our mission is getting you there with a product that is field usable, intuitive, and that's what we're all about. So now on to the topic of the day, our new major release, Cleargistix 2.0. Customer feedback drives our innovation, as Stephen mentioned. With that, we've achieved this milestone release, which allows us to continue to streamline and accelerate workflows, reduce errors, improve efficiency, and results in quicker and better management information. There are 4 main features in the Cleargistix 2.0 release. With 2.0, you can more easily segment and manage the activities of field operations using our divisions functionality. And our new release allows you to gain greater insights into operational and financial information captured through Cleargistix with enhanced reporting functionality that includes, among other things, a bevy of flexible revenue reports. You may now optimize the mobilization of your workforce through significant UI enhancements for field users using tablets, laptops, and phones. And we'll take a look at that in just a minute. And 2.0 provides better systems for easily managing how you get info out of Cleargistix through mappable, flexible mapping functionality for export and integration. So let's take a closer look at these features. Division functionality allows data to be linked to divisions and be segmented accordingly. The desire to do this is typically motivated either by reducing clutter for users who only need access to a subset of the site data, or by the desire to provide an extra level of security by limiting what data users in discrete groups or units of your company can see and access. Many customers have data that only applies to segments of their companies, and divisions enable customers with broad and diverse business requirements to segment that data by yard or business unit type of work or whatever grouping makes sense for them. We're really excited to have the divisions feature. This has been long requested, and it's going to provide a lot of utility to our customers. One of the greatest values that using Cleargistix to capture field information provides is real-time visibility into field activities and revenue. Cleargistix has enhanced this value with a collection of revenue reports supplying detailed insight, whether by company, asset type, item, division, or position. Cleargistix revenue reports allow you to see revenue rolled up in a variety of manners by week. Having real-time visibility into revenue allows for better resource allocation and other critical business considerations. Cleargistix enhanced reporting unlocks, exposes, and makes your field data even more actionable. We pride ourselves on providing great UI. From day one, we believe that a field ticketing solution, in order to succeed, has to be field usable. With Cleargistix 2.0, we're happy to announce that mobile phone usage has improved with more responsive, scalable UI that readily adapts from desktop monitors to tablets down to phone screens. So from gathering information in the field, logging time with our new time punch feature, to ticket approvals, mobile phone access with Cleargistix 2.0 has reached new levels of functionality. By collecting information in the field digitally, you've taken the first step in automating your business process data with efficient processes that do not require transcription. As a data collection source, one of the most essential functions Cleargistix provides is moving data along our customers' workflows, whether for invoicing, payroll, CRM, inspection, business intelligence, or other systems. Data collected in Cleargistix commonly needs to be pushed to other products or systems. Cleargistix integrates natively with many systems and can easily be enhanced to integrate with others. Understanding, though, that each customer's implementation of any given system has variability and use case nuances, Cleargistix is pleased to present flexible and configurable integration functionality via the new mapping facility provided by Cleargistix 2.0. Core and custom fields may easily be mapped, giving you the power to link Cleargistix data to other systems according to your specific needs and requirements. I'm now happy to turn the presentation over to Lindsay, who will give us a demo of these 2.0 features. Thank you.
All right, Rick, thank you very much. Lindsay, I am making you the presenter now, so you are up.
All right. Give me a second. Let me.
There we go.
All right. Hi, my name is Lindsay Schweitzer. I'm the Chief Customer Officer here at Cleargistix. My role at Cleargistix is to work with new and existing customers throughout the implementation process, as well as after they have rolled out. So Cleargistix 2.0 has been a big one. I'm very excited to go through the main features that have resulted from it, namely divisions, punch in and out, digital stamps, approval, signature, email, and all of the many ways in which you can run reports. For the purposes of this demo, I have used Well Services as my example workflow. I do have detailed how-to documents for each of the following processes. So if you have any questions, just reach out to me. Let's just dive in and we'll talk about what I mean while we're actually doing it. So divisions, to set up divisions, you'll need to create the divisions, assign permissions, enable divisions, and then link your core lists and ticket types and job profiles. So your first step is going to be going to the divisions desktop. Here you'll create, well, actually first step should be to call me. We'll talk through it. But you go to the divisions desktop and create your divisions. Creating the divisions is not a hard process. It's pretty much just kind of a name, the title of what you want to call your division. Once you've done that, you're going to go into your permissions. And for each one of the permission groups you have in your site, you're going to want to go to divisions and let them know, set whether they can view, delete, create, or edit. Don't turn on restricted access division until the last step. You want to make sure everything's linked first for your field users. Then you're going to go to settings and app settings, and you would go to system and actually enable divisions. So when you enable divisions, it's going to turn on the ability to assign divisions to all of the core lists, ticket types, and job profiles in the site. So your first three core lists are in the desktops. So you've got your companies, your assets, and your employees. Assigning a division to each one of them is pretty much the same process. Whenever you go into the company division, or sorry, company, asset, or employee, you'll have a division section. Once you've turned on divisions and this appears, it is always going to be required. You can link to all divisions. This is going to be more of like your office user or your admin, or maybe a floating employee that's going to go between supervisors or yards or product lines. And then you can share with just two, one, however you need to set it up. What you're basically doing is restricting this employee to what other items can he see. So if somebody is only assigned to North Yard, when they log and they have the restricted access turn on to allow, whatever desktop they go into, whatever job, ticket, the only things they're going to be able to see and access are the company's assets, locations, charge items that are linked to the same divisions that they are. Once you've finished updating everything, you want to look at the desktop. So one of the things you want to do is go into your desktop designer and add the division column to all of your desktops. So you have an easy way of seeing who belongs to what. Notice here, only the main people are linked to multiple. Everybody else has their own separate. So mechanic would be the only payroll or field user that has more than just one. The other two are going to be locations and items. For locations, if you are already an existing customer, I would probably suggest giving me a call because we can do all of this for you. If you're an existing customer, that might kind of be a better idea. So it all happens at once instead of over a period of time as you're doing it. But with locations, I have some customers who have 60,000 locations, and you probably aren't going to want to go into each one and set it up. We can get that done for you in the background. Also with items, so now you can assign divisions to items. Items that are shared across divisions, You can assign to all divisions. This also actually gives us the ability to have two of the exact same charge item with the same exact name, but two different prices, two different base prices. So here we have travel time twice. Notice one of them is 200, one of them is 350. So depending on what type of user you are and what type of job, what division the job is created using, will be which ticket time you have access to. Then we'll move on to ticket types. So notice I have a field ticket north, a field ticket south, and a JSA. Field ticket north and field ticket south are actually linked directly to individual divisions, whereas JSA is shared. Just like with everything else, when you're assigning division, it's right inside the general info tab. The last thing you need to assign is job profiles. So here's one of the fun things I absolutely love. So field ticket, notice it's the field ticket profile is connected to both divisions. If you were to open this and go into ticket types, you'll notice that both north and south are in here. So depending on how you set up the job, whether it's north or south, will be which ticket is going to actually be displayed. Same thing goes with items. Notice we have travel time in here twice. It's because it's both of those separate travel times. And then you have assets and positions. That'll be fun later. All right, so let's see how it works. So I'm going to go to the jobs desktop. Please notice that I am logged in as admin. So if I were to come in here and create a new job, I'm going to select field ticket. Since I have access to both divisions, I'm going to get the option whether to pick north or south yard. If I were logged in as one of the field users and I was only linked to one yard, that yard would have automatically been applied and the new job would have already been created. So we'll go ahead and click new job. Now, if you remember from when we were looking in there, how each one of the field users had their own individual. If you look at add employee, you'll notice that the only options that you have, even though they're all on the job profile, are the ones that were specifically linked to the north profile. Mechanic, who is linked to both south and north, will be here for either. If you go into items, you will see that you only have one instance of pickup truck and one instance of travel time. So again, this is going to be how it's divided using the job profiles. Lastly, on the tickets tab, you'll see that I only have access to north as well as the shared ticket of JSA. Were I to log in using south, I would only see south and the shared JSA. While going through the rest of the 2.0 features, you'll see some additional benefits that divisions provide. Next, I wanted to go through punch in, punch out. We are very proud of our ability to be able to generate payroll based on the same items that we use to invoice our customers. But sometimes you may want your employees to be able to punch in and out as well. Any user can be given the ability to punch in and out, but we now have the ability to also grant users who might not have ever logged into Cleargistix before, the ability to view their jobs, tickets, and punch in and out, and only that. So I'm going to go ahead and log out and log in as mechanic. So this is a permission setting. So when you go to the permission settings, you are going to set somebody up as restricted to only payroll and then link him to a specific ticket step. So if I were to go into tickets requiring my action, let's say that one of the rigs broke down on the site and I know, what location, what company, I'm going to go ahead and find that job when I get there and I'm going to punch in. Now notice I don't have the ability to change anything. I can't remove anything. I can't add anything. I have already punched in earlier today. I've finished my work at this point. And so I'm going to go in and edit my payroll time, my punch, and punch out. So Notice I can't change employee, I can't change punch in, punch out, I can't change the actual time. You can do it manually if you set up somebody with those permissions, but for right now, I'm just going to basically give a description of what I did and click save. Once I save the ticket, that payroll is now in the payroll desktop. Along with being able to do it in the ticket and link it to a ticket directly, if you give them permission to see payroll time, they can actually add it independent of a ticket. So this might be good for office users if you don't want to keep track of a ticket. It's also going to limit him to only seeing his items. So by clicking new, again, you've got the punch in, punch out. All right. So that would be our punch in, punch out. Now I'm going to sign out and sign back in as admin. As we all know, company men the world over have always been wedded to their stamps. This is difficult whether the signature is being captured on site when the work's being done by the field user, or if it's done later in the process by a field supervisor printing them out and going to get them signed in batches once a week per company man. This takes a lot of time and expense, and it further delays the ability to invoice the customer. We have found a way that might make things easier for both you and your customer with digital stamps and approval email signatures. In order to get a stamped version of the report created, and you can have as many as needed, just send me the stamp along with what information is commonly collected inside of it so we can take that into account. So let's go and look at tickets and find one that is in customer approval status. So notice this is ticket 66. It's in customer approval status. There is no attachment, and approval status is not approved at this point. So we'll just go on in. Now, the only people who are going to be able to do this are the people that are assigned specifically to the step that indicates the ticket's ready for approval. So admin did that inside of customer approval, and then I went into the ticket designer and made sure that the signature capsule was the approver signature. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to select the type of ticket. So this would be your generic ticket where it's just your regular digital signature, but we created a generic stamp. So this is a stamp from one of our customers. And it has, since this is generic, we actually have the company name to where it'll automatically populate. Service date, location, rig, AFE, all pull in from the ticket, and now it's just waiting for signature. So if you are assigned to this step, you have the request approval link here. And you just type in the company man's email address. So once it's been emailed, you can go back into the ticket and see that it has one attachment. Once you send the email, an unsigned version of the report is going to be attached to the ticket while we're waiting for his signature. Notice now it has an attachment, but it says approval requested. So I'm just going to go and open up my email so I can show you what the email is going to look like. So if you provide me with a logo and an email address, I can actually put in an email address specific to your company, a logo specific to your company. The company man's going to get a copy of the unsigned PDF, as well as a link that says to review and approve the ticket, click here. So I'm going to scoot that over and click that. Now it's going to open this for the company man. He'll be able to come in here, review everything, make sure everything on the stamp is correct, everything in the ticket is correct. And then just like on the digital ticket, he can click sign ticket. sign it and type in his name. I always want to sing when I type that. The second you click save, it'll open up and he will be able to download the signed copy of the ticket. Also at the same time, the signed copy of the digital ticket will replace the one that already existed that was unsigned and switch it to approval and step it to ready for invoicing. So once you send that email to the customer, you're saying we're good. Once it's signed, we're ready to move forward. So once he signs it, it steps it, attach the signed copy, and marks it as approved. All right, now what can we do with all of this information? That's right, we can run reports. We all know how to export what's on the various desktops by clicking on your export to Excel, which will result in a CSV of whatever columns are currently on the desktop. But let's talk about the good stuff. Weekly revenue reports and enrolled integrations. So weekly revenue reports are built into the site, everybody's site. It's there for you now if you're a current customer. You go to the charge items, the charge lines desktop, and click revenue by week. You are then able to select what week you want to review and click on the week. Now you select from the drop down. You have a couple of different options. You have revenue by company, which will show you how much each one of the companies made for you that week, by day, and by weekly total. You also have by item, same thing. Every item that was used that week, by day, and by week. Any one of these, you're also able to export to CSV. I actually have a copy of all of them right here because you are able to download them all at one time. Let's see. You have asset type. So this is basically like your rig time charge item. So any asset-based charge item where you're linking the asset directly to it, that's what information this is going to show. You also have revenue by ticket asset. This is going to be show me all revenue for all tickets where rig 2 is on the ticket. That includes materials, services, everything. Finally, we have enrolled integrations. Enrolled integrations are exports that are custom built to your specific needs. They are available via the charge line desktop, the payroll desktop, and the invoicing desktops. Each one of these can hold as many different custom reports as you want, and whenever you run them, you will run them based on whatever's in your current filter. I have pre-downloaded a couple of exports, one from each, just to kind of show you the differences between them. For payroll exports, obviously this is going to be geared towards either uploading into your current payroll system or doing some kind of utilization. These are all really good to stick into pre-created pivot table or charts in Excel. Now notice whenever you do the enrolled integration as opposed to the desktop export, you can set it up to be able to have overtime calculations, whether this is after 8 hours in a single day or 40 hours in a week or both combined. The second you hit 40 hours, even if it's in the middle of a charge line, it will separate that into two. You then have the charge line export. So this is an example of the export that we were just looking at with weekly revenue reports, except for in a lot more detail. So with charge lines, pretty much anything in the job, ticket, or charge item can be mapped. So, it's completely up to you. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. And finally, we have invoicing. So again, invoicing, like payroll, the main purpose for it is to do an export from maybe uploading into your invoicing system. If you are set up with an API for any of invoicing or payroll, you're going to have to go through the same process, except for instead of downloading it and then uploading it, you just hit a button and it'd go over, the magic of the interwebs. All right, so if you are currently a customer, you've seen firsthand just how awesome the enrolled integrations feature is, but have you ever wondered how to do it? So if you go to your admin, the all-powerful admin, integrations and enrolled integrations. Now, in order to get these integrations available to you, you do have to reach out to me because we have a whole bunch of options. Whether it's payroll to Excel, payroll to an actual payroll company, depending on what you need is what we'll sign you up for. Once you do that, you can actually go in here. You will have some pre-created default map types, but you also have the ability to create it yourself. Map types are just what columns and what order and what do you want the column headers to be. Once you're finished doing that, you go to data maps and you create a data map. When you create the data map, you're going to link it to the map type, the column headers that you want. When you go into field mapping, you'll see all of the column headers that you created, and then you just link exactly what information you want to go into each one of those. We have a lot of options. You might want to pay more attention to the words that are inside of the parentheses. I have no problem going through this with you if you want to. It's remarkably easy. It's broken down by, your asset, charge item, employee, job, location, ticket, as well as any ticket or job custom fields. You are able to combine two fields into one if you need to. If I were to put division and then put a space and then put pay code, whenever I did this export, it would show you north, space, regular. You can put things like dashes in between if need be, or you can come in here and make everything automatically uppercase, and only show things before, after hyphens, or between, before, after parentheses. So this will kind of allow you to manipulate data that we have in the system for one purpose to export it for a completely different purpose. Once you save your mappings, you're able to go in and you can mark it whether it's default or not. So like I said, let's say you have two divisions and each one of them invoices differently. You can create 2, 4, 8, however you want, different invoicing data maps. Mark which one's default, which is going to be, the one that's at the top of the list. And you can mark whether when you click on that button, if it's going to be automatically marked as exported or not. All right. Lastly, we'll just go to the invoices desktop. Notice we have two things in ready to be exported. You just narrow that down by ready to be exported. If you wanted to narrow it further down by division, you are more than welcome to do so. Click on your enrolled integrations button, and notice if you hover over it, it'll tell you marks exported or doesn't mark exported. If you don't want it to mark as exported, you always have the option of clicking on the drop down and choosing your option. So we'll just stick with marks as exported. So that export that I had shown you earlier, that is being run right now. The more information that you have in there and the bigger your data map, the longer it's going to take because it's dynamic, not static. So if you've already created your invoice and you need to update something, you can update it and rerun it without having to worry about recreating or anything fun like that. So that would be your export. And with payroll time, same thing. You would just go to approved, narrow it down by a date range. And then click on the enrolled integrations button. That is kind of the long and short of it. I hope I haven't taken up too much of your time, and I am always available for questions or emails, or if you wanted to request a how-to document or talk our way through one of the processes, please don't hesitate to give me a call.
Thank you, Lindsay.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take back over as the presenter. And we've gone a little bit long, so we apologize for that. But, you know, a couple of things regarding what Lindsay just showed you. You know, the hallmarks of our system have been flexible, configurable, field usable. And the flexibility regarding this divisions functionality is outstanding. And so you can break up your company's activities into product lines, service lines, even supervisor by supervisor. Very, very, very easy to do it. All very intuitive. You know, Lindsay and Christy, who've been phenomenal in getting this out and spec'd and released and tested, have been through just a tremendous amount of opportunities regarding how to use this you know, truly revolutionary functionality that we have. So, you know, big thank you to our entire development team, Wendy, Kevin, Beryl, along with Rick and Christy, who, you know, this is the biggest release we've had since we originally released the software way back when. So this release touched literally everything that we do inside of Cleargistix. And again, the suggestion came from customers. So keep the comments coming. So we'll try to answer any questions that we got. If you have other questions, you can feel free to email any of us. Our email addresses are on the screen now, and we'll collect the questions and try to get an answer out to everybody. But we, again, greatly appreciate you taking your time this morning and reviewing our Cleargistix 2.0 release with you. Lots of great functionality. We're here to help you navigate your way through the implementation of some of these great features. So thank you very much. Everybody have a great rest of your Tuesday. And again, we appreciate you. Thank you very much and goodbye.